Fantastic. Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome back to my Minecraft Redstone tutorial series. We're going to carry on with the inputs today, and we're going to look at buttons. Okay, so let's head down in a row past the levers that we did last episode onto buttons. Here we go. Here's a button in an item frame, little tiny thing, and this is how you make it. You just put a piece of stone in the crafting grid. We've got a couple of pieces of stone here. If we put one in the crafting grid, it can be anywhere, you get a stone button. And there's a stone button. Fantastic. But there's not just one kind of button. Oh, no, there's another kind. And here we go, we've got a piece of wood in the crafting grid, and this makes a wooden button. So let's just get some wood. Can be any wood, any wooden planks, and pop it in there, and you can see we get a wooden button. But why are there two? Well, there's some differences, and we're going to take a look at them. First of all, a button. Probably how you'd expect. When you press it, it outputs a signal. Yeah? You can see that the redstone lights up when it is pressed. After a short amount of time, the button becomes depressed, so it comes back up again. And there we go, the redstone is no longer on. When it is on, it's at a signal strength of 15, and we'll look at more at signal strength in later episodes. So you can see here when we press either of the buttons, there we go, the not only do the redstone light up, but the lamps do too. You know, they make two different sounds as well. This is like kind of a clicky clacky sound. This one's kind of a thumpy kind of sound. And buttons can be placed on the floor, walls and ceiling, the same as levers as we looked at in the last episode. So we can pop our buttons up the walls, and we won't be able to place one here though, because this square is occupied by this button here, look. So I could take that button out and put the button there, that's fine. But they can be placed on floors, walls and ceilings. And they have this pattern. Okay, so this is how the button powers the area around it. The block that the button is attached to is strongly powered, and the blocks directly adjacent to the button are weakly powered. Of course, that strongly powered block then weakly powers the blocks around it adjacent to it. If you don't know about strongly and weakly powered, go back a few episodes and check out my explanation. The playlist link is in the description. I highly recommend you watch the previous videos if you haven't watched them already. Here's an example of a button on the floor. Again, the block which the button is attached to is strongly powered, and all the rest is weakly powered. Now there are a few other differences. Namely, these buttons here can be set off with different things. Let's check that out. I have here a bow and arrow. When I shoot a bow and arrow at a stone button, nothing happens, apart from the arrow goes away like normal. If I shoot one at a wooden button, it activates. Okay, so this is the main difference between a stone and wooden button. And that button stays activated until the arrow is taken out of it or the arrow despawns. Now remember, entities that are just lying around on the ground like this will stay on the ground for 5 minutes. So, if we pick that up, it's going to come back into our inventory. If we pick this button, this arrow up here, it will come out of the button. And if we pick this one up here, that will come out of the button, and the button will depress after the normal amount of time. That is the first difference between a stone and wooden button. There is actually a second difference, and that is the wooden button is actually lit for, it stays on for longer than a stone button. Now I can't activate these both perfectly at the same time, but what we'll do is we're going to move these so that they are much closer together. So let's put a wooden button there, a stone button there, and I'm going to attempt to light them up as quickly as I can. So let's just do, yeah, that works. Okay, so I'm going to start with the stone button, then do the wooden button, and you can see that the wooden one just stays on for that much longer. In fact, if I do the wooden one first, it actually is still on before the stone one finishes. So if I do stone wooden, you can see the stone one goes off quite a while before the wooden one. If I do wooden stone, The stone one actually goes off just before the wooden one. The wooden one has a few seconds later. Later on we're going to be looking at doors. If you're going to be using buttons for doors, I highly recommend the wooden one. It leaves them open just that little bit longer. And there we go. That's going to be it for today. Apart from, I have an end of episode quiz for you. Okay? Turn on all the lamps only using one of each of the 3 inputs. Okay, so you want to use 1 redstone torch, 1 lever, and 1 button. It is possible to turn on all of these lamps at the same time by using one of each of those 3. Okay, so place them on the lamps, put them wherever you think might be needed to light all of this stuff up, and you'll have to press the button, but when you press the button, the whole thing should be lit up. Okay, the answer to this little quiz will be at the beginning of next episode. So you're going to have to wait until then for the answer. Remember, the download for the world link is in the description, so if you click that link it will take you to my downloads page where you can download the world and have a go for yourself. But that is going to be all for now. Remember, if you haven't seen any of the previous episodes, I highly recommend you do so, and the link to the playlist is always a fantastic thing to use. It lets you play around and have a good look at all this stuff. Next time we'll be looking at inputs, part 2, where we've got more items including pressure plates and other jobbies to look at, and I will say goodbye for now.